So 1,500 workers are expected to go out on strike on the 23rd and the 24th of this month. Now, these are people who are on the ground at the airport, check-in staff, baggage handlers, people who deal with the cargo. So they keep things moving on the ground. So this is expected to have a knock-on disruption for many of the flights going out of this. Now, these people who are going on strike are Unite Union members and they're employees by Swissport. Now, this is going to affect 18 airports across the UK, including the three main London airports being Gatwick, Stansted and Heathrow, where we are now. This is a dispute all about pay. The Swissport employees are saying that they haven't seen a pay rise in 2 years, since 2014, and they're saying that their pay hasn't risen with inflation like other airlines have done. And Swissport have come back and said to passengers that they're going to try and minimise disruption as much as possible over this period. Now, this comes as another strike has been announced by British Airways. They are saying that their cabin crew, or an element of their cabin crew, are saying that they're not being paid enough in comparison to other airlines, and they will be going on strike, but that is on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, so it's going to cause a lot of trouble with people trying to fly internationally out of London. And so, but these are two strikes, and also Virgin Airways, there is talk of them that they may be going on strike, but yet a date has been set for that one. So we're waiting on that. Now, earlier I spoke to Simon Calder, who is from the Independent newspaper. He's a travel expert, and he says in his years of journalism he hasn't seen anything like this.
We've never seen anything like this happening over Christmas. Let's go through them one by one if we may. First of all, Swissport ground staff, they're the check-in people, they're the baggage handlers. They're very unhappy at what they say are wages that simply aren't keeping pace with inflation. So they are going to strike on the 23rd and the 24th. It's going to be some impact here at Heathrow. Airlines such as Emirates, Cathay Pacific and Virgin Atlantic are handled by Swissport. Stansted is also going to be badly affected because Ryanair, the main airline there, is also handled by Swissport, but otherwise Gatwick isn't going to be too badly hit at all. Moving on to British Airways, their mixed fleet cabin crew are very unhappy about what they say are poor pay and conditions compared with the rest of their colleagues, so they are taking strike action Christmas Day and Boxing Day. BA says, we're appalled by this, but we are going to run a complete long-haul service. There's no disruption out of Gatwick, Stansted or London City, and there may be some short-haul flights affected, but BA says you can refund, you can reschedule, you can reroute those flights, but we're going to try and get you where you need to be in any event. I've looked at lots and lots of ground crew strikes in my time. They don't have nearly as much impact as flying crew strikes, partly because it's relatively easy to get other workers in to cover that. As long as they've got an airside pass, they can move baggage about. Ryanair, which is going to be, I think, the leading airline that's affected by this, has already said we may impose a hand baggage only policy, which of course will cause a great deal of grief for people who are taking presents around. Of course, the hope is, with all these disputes, that they will be settled before they actually begin. I've never seen such a combination of action. So yes, people trying to get to and from Gatwick, even though the drivers' strikes, we've had 3 days this week, are now over for the time being. Monday, Tuesday, guards go on strike. That's going to affect people trying to get to Gatwick and back. And then once Christmas starts, of course, we have the traditional engineering works, which means that from Christmas Eve till just before New Year, there won't be any trains in and out of Paddington, which is going to be a problem for people trying to get on the Heathrow Express here. And the Piccadilly line, well, that is getting sort of slightly back to normal, but it's still not up to a full service yet. So good luck, everybody.
Simon Calder there, wishing passengers luck over the next coming week with the expected disruption that these strikes will bring. Now, also some passengers may need luck today, as you can see, it's very foggy here at Heathrow, and we're hearing of reports that 50 flights have at least been cancelled from this airport alone, and City Airport will be diverting all their flights from their airport because of the problems with fog. So for now, today and for the rest of the week, it's very good to check before you travel, as there may be disruption to most journeys.